All right, good afternoon, traders. Today is January 12th, 2026. My name is Coach Carignan. I'm the lead instructor here at the BYOB Trading Room. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everybody out there in podcast land, digital land, cyber land. Thank you for following my content, liking my content, subscribing to my content. Thank you for the kind words. Thank you for sharing my content. Special shout out, John Jordan, Bob Jordan, Kathy, Sarah, and Roasted. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. All right, let's take a look at the markets today. It's a little early. We're not closed yet. You can see SPY on the 10-minute chart. I'm going to call it a 10-minute downtrend right here. 10-minute downtrend coming into the close. 2-hour chart, we got a 2-hour uptrend. Notice the 3 EMA up over the 8 EMA. So 2-hour uptrend coming into the close. On the daily chart, let me just say we put in a new all-time high for SPY today. Okay, so if you take it over here in the quad lines, all right, new all-time high. I'm going to take this out of the way, and I'm going to turn off the trading for a second. Okay, so you can see price action, April low right back here. We're at the top of quadrant 4. That's bullish. Still in an uptrend right there on SPY. Okay, let's take a look at Diamond Dow. And Diamond Dow, let's see what we got for highs. High there is 696.25. High there is 696.16. Well, they could do it before the close. Anyways, just call it an equal high just for the time being, only because we're not quite closed yet. Okay, so that's 696.25, 696.18, so they got 7 cents more to go. All right, so price action is an outside day. It's a lower high, it's a lower low and a higher high, closing over a bullish trap over the rising 17. Top of quadrant 4. Okay, so that's bullish and in an uptrend right there. Okay, so let's take a look at IWM. IWM is, let's see what the high there is, 261.56. High there is 261.58. That is a new all-time high for IWM. Okay, top of quadrant 4, there's the April low right here. Quadrant 4 is bullish and in an uptrend for IWM. All right, let's take a look at QQQ. QQQ got a higher low and a higher high, closing over a bullish trap over the 17 EMA. Closing at the top of quadrant 4. This is the April low right here. And this is the high for the day. Anyways, the all-time high is right here. Okay, so we're bullish and still in an uptrend. Nothing's broken yet. Okay, notice we're up over this all-time high anchored VWAP, which is the pink line. Notice we're over the diagonal support line, which is also called a trend line. Okay, so this is top of quadrant 4. That's bullish and in an uptrend for QQQ. All right, let's look at Stinker. All right, and Stinker got a higher low, lower high. Higher low, higher high, closing over a bearish trap under the falling 17, under the all-time high anchored VWAP. Under which once was major support. Okay, now it's minor resistance. Okay, so underneath that'd be bearish for me. All right, underneath the midpoint, here's the high, here's the pullback low. We're still down here in quadrant 1 as far as the smaller time frame goes. On the daily chart, that puts us over here. Here's the April low. There's the all-time high. That puts us right out here, outside of the bullish area. So that's going to be neutral and still in a downtrend. No higher highs yet for FNGU. Let's take a look at silver and gold. Okay, gold put in a new all-time high today. So that's bullish and in an uptrend. Okay, here's the 2022 origin of this move right here, 2022. There's the origin of the move. That is not the low of the move. That's not the low of the day or the all-time low. It is not. All right, but this is the origin of the move up. You can see price action, top of quadrant 4 is bullish and in an uptrend. Silver did the same thing. Okay, bullish. See that? all the way to top of quadrant 4. That's bullish. And then an uptrend. You can see silver. Here's the 2022 low right here. Okay, right there. So there's the origin of this big move up. Okay, so there's silver. That is bullish, top of quadrant 4, and in an uptrend right there for silver. Let's take a look at UNG. UNG, higher low, higher high, closing inside a bearish trap, under the falling 17, under the 2025 or the 12-month high anchored VWAP. Down here at the bottom of quadrant 1, that makes it bearish and in a downtrend because we haven't made any higher highs. So that's UNG. Let's take a look at USO. USO's got a, well, it's got a lower low. Let's see that. See, the high here is 791.94. So the high here is 72. The high here is 71.94. So it's an outside day. That's a higher high and a lower low, closing over bullish trap, over the downtrend line, and still in an uptrend. So neutral and in an uptrend, still caught underneath this post-COVID high anchored VWAP right up here. So there's price action still neutral and in an uptrend. All right, we'll see how far they get with that. This is the downtrend line. They're on the other side right now. Nice to see a little follow through. Not much of follow through, but all in all, they recovered the candle wick up there. If they close up there, that'd be nice. That'd be a nice strong close up there. So there's USO. Let's take a look at their technicals. T2101. And we went up a little further today, and the participation increased. So I like that. Okay, that's bullish for me. T2122, we spent the day in the overbought zone. We started out in the morning down here in the buyer's chop zone, and we found our way through the buy zone all the way back to the overbought zone. Nice work on the bulls for that one. T2123 on 15-minute chart. We're still in an uptrend. We haven't made any lows yet below the 17 EMA. So we're still in an uptrend on T21, 23, 15-minute chart. You can see price action up over the hooking 200. That's bullish, okay? And in an uptrend right there. Bullish and in an uptrend. All right, that's on the 15-minute chart. If we take this, I can't do it. But anyways, it's up there at the top of that. 3-bar chart, okay, so here is our April low. This is our all-time high. You can see here's a pullback to the head and shoulders line right there, and we get a bounce off the head and shoulders line. Now we've got an inverse head and shoulders showing. That's a bullish inverse head and shoulders. And you can see price action puts in a bull flag, consolidates over to the right, and obviously you can see the breakout here, headed back up to chase down these highs and possibly produce some new all-time highs. So there's price action all the way up here, top of quadrant 4. That's bullish and in an uptrend. If they can get on top of this candle, on top of all of this, they will have they've pulled off something big. That would be nice to see if they can do that. But we'll see. That's T2123. And let's take a look at Stinker. And Stinker's got... we got a low right here. We got a higher high, so we haven't made a lower low. So we're still in an uptrend on Stinker for 15 on the 15-minute chart. We're up over the falling 200. That's good news. Price action still caught in the middle here. All right, it's in the middle of this. Now, if we take it all the way back up to those all-time highs, okay, you're going to see that Stinker is all the way in the bottom of quadrant 1. See down here? So that would be bearish and still in a downtrend there for Stinker. Okay, so Stinker's not helping us out. We need the help because this is 10 of the biggest weighted securities in the QQQ and the SPY. If this thing could get moving in a positive direction, boy, there'd be a lot of hoopla. I'll tell you that. That's holding us back right now. Okay, we could get up to 700, maybe even 750. We'll see what happens. All right, maybe the turnaround is coming. I doubt it. We'll see what happens. All right, that's it for me for today. All right, how I made my money today. I'm just gonna take you over there and take a peek at that. Okay, so and I got them up right here. Okay, so that's good. All right, so I'm going to put the pre-market on so you can see it on the 10-minute chart. I'm going to head back to SPY and put the pre-market on there. All right, so in the pre-market, that would be the shaded section, we had a bullish 10-minute uptrend. Now, if you were with me this morning, you heard me say, I intend to trade a continuation of the pre-market bullish uptrend right there. So the first thing I did when I saw green flash early in the morning is I bought a basket of calls. All right, so I bought some 692, some 693. These are all 0 DTs. 692, 693s, 700, 694, 695, and 696. So I bought a basket of calls. Made my daily goal probably in 20 minutes right there. Same thing I did last time. I did it in 10 minutes last time, but I didn't get quite as many calls right out of the gate as I did the last time. So took a little bit longer for me to wait for that to happen. All in all, if you could take a look at this, I can show the trading. And you can see right here. Okay, this is where I bought. Right there, bought and sold. Okay, for quick, life-changing profits right there. Okay, same thing here. Quick, life-changing profits. This one, quick, life-changing profits right there. Okay, and at 694. On this one, bought, sold, and then bought the dip. On this one, this was the 694 call. Okay, you can see price all the way up over 695. So this you can see had already hit its peak up here, but you can see nice day for this this option right here. So I picked off the lows of the candles because I had a 10-minute uptrend. All right, as long as my uptrend was intact. And you can see my PPO on the 15-minute was up over, I think it was up over 7, over 0.05 anyways. You can see up over 0.05. You can see it at 0.06, maybe even 0.07 at some times. So that gave me the courage to buy some calls. And we rode this 10-minute uptrend almost to the end of the day. All right, and then you can see it got pinched off at the end of the day. Same thing here. Picked off the lows of those option candles right there and sold into strength. Every time there was a little strength, I sold into that rally on the SPY. And that's basically it. I have for tomorrow, I have some MSOS calls. I like that. I can show you that chart. And I was inspired by a failure to make a lower low right here. And then we had a higher high right there. So I bought some MSOS calls right there on that one. QQQ, got some 4 DTE 636 calls. You can see those are way out of the money. I don't know if we get there, but again, I got till Friday. Only have one of those. I got some SPY 700 strike calls. Don't have too many of those, only because I think the 700 strike is crowded. I didn't want it to be crowded so I could get in and get out or get some price action from it. So I picked up the 698s instead, actually in addition to the 700s. All right, and then I got some QQQ, 1 DTE for tomorrow. We'll see what happens. All right, that's it for me for today. Traders, everybody have a beautiful day. Thanks for hanging out with me. All right, we'll see you tomorrow.